Hi, and welcome to the Sassy Merit podcast, where we dive into the most controversial topics in the equestrian world.
We give our unfiltered opinions and say the things that others won't.
With 4 hosts from different backgrounds, we bring a mix of perspectives, experiences, and even a few debates.
So saddle up, it's going to be a fun one.
Hi, and welcome to the Sassy Marriage podcast. I'm Robin.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Alex.
I don't know, let's just have a little catch up before we jump into today's topic. Spoiler, it's rehab. Stay tuned. So what's everyone up to? What you been doing?
It's been like a month from we recorded, and I feel like there's been a lot. But like, the only thing I've been doing is jumping. That's it.
Okay. That's big jumper.
I had a very expensive lesson and I won a rug.
Well, that's the end goal, really, isn't it? Winning a rug.
The end goal's qualifying for Dublin. Just didn't happen this year, guys.
That wasn't your fault, that was the heat's fault.
Yeah, blame the heat wave.
Really?
Damn
Because
the
like
heat wave.
I tried to lunge Elsie in that and I couldn't get her to trot, so I really feel for you.
So hard. It was so tiring. Like I literally felt like I was having a sunstroke like, in the middle of it. I was like, I'm dying. But no, it was good. I'm very glad like we ended where we did though.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that I got into the second round. I feel like it's a major confidence boost. So I just need to get her fitter for next year basically and try again.
And hope for not so hot day.
Yes, and pray for cloud coverage and maybe a bit of rain. Who me saying I want to ride in the rain.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, apart from that, that's really all with me.
What have you been up to?
Literally nothing. Working. Brave to hack for the first time.
That's
Oh,
good.
exciting.
That's about it. I went like 5 meters down the road and was like,
Still counts.
job's a good one.
Baby steps.
Baby
Yeah,
steps.
I'll be 50 meters next time,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
and then 500, then 5,000.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
Should we
She
do-
hacks the cork.
I'll hack to you in no time.
Should be doing that endurance stuff. Also, she'll be up to.
I quite enjoy that, to be fair.
I think it'd be fun. Amy,
I have been trade standing around the place with Copa, and that's all I've been doing. I've been getting a few lessons. I'm trying to grow my confidence too. It's sort of working.
yeah, it's crazy that when you actually put time and effort into it, like things work.
But in my head, I had like I need to get better before I get a lesson because I'll scumber myself.
No, that's why you get lessons.
I know, but I just couldn't comprehend that. I was like, no, because I can do better than this, and I don't want to embarrass myself. But then the instructor,
That's the whole point of getting a lesson, though.
she wasn't a booked lesson. She just appeared. She was
Yeah.
like, "Do you want a hand?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, I'm caught." Like, okay. And then now I'm just getting bi-weekly lessons. So
Yeah, it's good. I love lessons.
yeah, but apart from that, I don't think nothing major with the podcast
No.
really. No one else has left, so that's always good.
For now.
Oh no! It's just me and Alex in your living room next
Yeah,
week.
your TikTok ads are going to send Robin over the edge.
Oh, don't even get me started on Amy opening a TikTok shop on the pod page.
Yeah.
Have we sold anything?
No,
Well, what was the point then?
I haven't promoted it. Okay,
See if you get out those goddamn
Clippers.
clippers.
I have those clippers. I do.
Put
They're
them
so
away.
bad, guys. Don't listen to those
No.
TikTokers.
I only use them for bridle paths because they're like skinny. That's the only thing I use them for.
The charge lasts like 30 seconds on them. They're so bad.
Can you imagine trying to clip a full horse? You just
I
bald it
do my
and
cob's whole feathers with these amazing clippers.
she's
and
like,
it's like,
20. She's like 20 clippers on standby because the charge keeps down.
Yeah.
no, but it's like in the video, they're like,
Yeah, they're so bad.
trying to get them through.
They're only useful for like bridle paths. Honestly, that's it.
I used to top up Rue's already clip to clip with them. Like when it was starting to regrow in before it got hairy.
Oh,
You know, like a little,
yeah.
like you needed to be skin fade top
It's
up.
like after you get a wax and you need to shave a wee bit before
Yeah.
the next one.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I used to do it with that. It worked for that. But anyways, what are we talking about? This is pointless. Rehab.
Yes, so today's episode is going to be about rehab. It's a follow-on, sort of, from our previous episode about naughty horses. Because we had Molly, who spoke on it, and she was telling us about her horse's diagnosis, so we thought it would be nice to go into the other side of, like, when you do get a diagnosis of something, the rehab side of it, like the stigma that goes along with that.
What do we think is controversial in the
About
topic
rehabbing?
of rehab? I think so much. To be
See,
honest.
I don't really know an awful lot about rehab. I think I'm very lucky to not have had to do it a lot. But I think people like to sell you things, like these quick treatments that'll get your horse back to being fixed.
Yeah.
But do they work? Like, is time better than like all of these therapies? Like, how do you know how many of those work?
That's so true. And like, how many things do you have to actually try?
So many things.
Well, that's what I think. It's like, how much do you try before you just put it in a field
Yeah, and let it be a horse.
and let it be a horse, and maybe in
that
a year's
rehab?
time. No, but that's what I'm saying. How much rehab do you have to do before you decide that it's not working?
Oh,
I think it depends on the injury.
No, definitely it does.
yeah, I think as my controversial opinion was going to be about it was how people do it wrong.
Well, yeah.
Like Russian rehab.
And like as you say about the depends on the injury, so certain injuries people
Mhm.
treat like it's nothing when it is something, and then they just don't do it right, and then they end up having their own problems down the line and
So
stuff
do
like
you,
that.
do you think cutting corners in rehab then like ups the chance of the same injury happening again?
Oh, definitely. I think people are just, I don't know.
Is it like an external pressure of like having to be back to the point that you were? So like you do rush things?
Probably, especially for people who would maybe be doing things like trying to get to a certain show or stuff like
Yeah.
that, or like have pressure on them from somebody else. That like say their mum's like you're getting to this show and the mum just doesn't care if a horse is like if a horse trots up sound, people are like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I think the only thing I can sort of relate to with that was at the beginning of the year when I was working hard to get her like fit and ready for Balmoral qualifiers. And then obviously she had the cellulitis.
Oh yes.
And like I probably could, it's not really a rehab thing, the cellulitis, like it wasn't like a long injury.
Yeah.
It was like I probably could have pushed like harder, done maybe some therapies, but like what was I achieving by that?
Yeah.
I just like let her body tell me when it was ready almost instead of just rushing something and then causing a problem.
Yeah. I think another external pressure is the fear of box rest. People like
I hate box rest.
people have such a fear of box. I get it. Like I get it. But I've seen people online who'll be like, my horse has had this detrimental injury, and then like 2 weeks later, it's out in the field running around. It's like,
yeah.
but why?
Yeah, if you're going to turn it out, it needs to be controlled. Turn out like a small square, and even at that, they're less likely to run around when they're in their stable because they can't.
So would you be pro box rest for rehab?
Well, like if it's needs must, then yeah. If it's an injury bad enough to require box rest, and that's what the vet's telling you to do, then.
See, with me being very pro turnout, I would definitely want to keep her out as much as I could.
Oh no, absolutely.
Because I don't even think she would go stir crazy. It's more her legs would get filled.
Yeah.
And she could be one to cough. So I feel like if she was kept in 24/7 for like 4 to 6 weeks,
Yeah.
I just don't think that's a life. But then I know 4 to 6 weeks is very, very minimal in the terms of some people have horse on box rest for months.
Yeah.
But
Like
then you're stuck
6,
between
9,
a rock
12
and a hard
months.
place nearly, because it's like you want them out,
Yeah.
but are they going to do themselves more damage?
I think it really is very dependent on your horse and the injury, though, isn't it? We need like a case study. We need like a fake injury. Like my horse did this. This is how I
Is
rehab.
that my game? I can't remember. I made it in the bath earlier.
Oh.
It's just on my notes. I can't remember what it was though. It was something to do with I was gonna do that.
Oh, okay.
I had this whole thing planned where I was gonna make this big map of like you do this or you do this and then but it didn't work, so I've got true or false for later, so tune in for that. But have you ever had to rehab for anything?
Thankfully, nothing huge or nothing major. Like, she popped a splint when she was younger, and I air quotes rehab, but it wasn't really. It was kind of just walk her for a week and trot her for a week, gant her for a week. Like
you meant on the walker.
No.
For a week, just,
Like it wasn't really anything. I think I'm very lucky to be. Oh my god, touch wood. Touch
that
every
still
piece
is
of
rehab,
wood.
though. I was like, touch the floor, that's lino.
Where's the wood, guys? It's not. But no, I've been very lucky, I think, to not have to do anything major. Just like your little tiny bits, like
Yeah.
But she's very like, Pepsi's very chill girl. Like she doesn't really get up to much to hurt herself that needs. I think I've been very lucky that like internally everything's been good as well. I haven't needed to rehab for anything.
But even like little rehabs, it's still important that you do all the steps correctly. Could you say like walk for a week, trot for a week? Like in that first week if you had a canter, you would have been.
Yeah, I would be very
screwed.
careful bringing her back to work on any sort of break. Like even if when she did get the cellulitis, it was all done very slowly.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point rushing it. 'Cause at the end of the day, like if you're doing this for like the love of the horse, you rushing it to do it for your joy of the sport, you're going to end up out longer in the long run, if that makes sense, because you're just cutting corners.
Then that could be if it's people are turning over horses like
Quickly, like a money side of it again always comes out, doesn't it?
they won't really care. They'll just be like, sure, we'll be fine. That's someone else's problem. Unfortunately, people think like that.
Yeah.
But you, who had rehab?
I've been like loosely involved in it. obviously from like loaning and stuff, it's never really been my sole
Yeah.
problem. But
I guess what happens there if you're loaning a horse and it like does itself in, then you need to rehab it. Like,
I think I've been quite lucky because any of the times it's always been like a part loan situation. And like it's always worked for me to do the rehab thing, like all the hand walking, and then you start hand walking for long. It's basically like having a dog for
walking on the
for a
lead.
wee while. But then I was on another yard that cut the corners
Oh,
and
okay.
rehabbed the horse too fast.
And then did you see any like longer term
Yeah,
problems
I
there?
think it's retired now.
Oh,
And do you think it would have, if the rehab was done
Properly.
slower?
Yeah. Yeah, it was very like, oh, this horse is looking good for like 3 months, and all of a sudden it's retired.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah.
it's not my problem.
What about Elsie? Any rehab or any with your previous horses?
no, starting to think. No, she's never done anything like that. Rue had to be rehabbed back into work from. I actually can't even remember what he did. He popped his leg out. I don't know. He landed. It was sore for a while, and there was nothing that I was able to do really. We got him physio, and the physio said he was fine. Clearly, they lied. But anyways, then we went to Ardnacashel, and he landed in a jump and wrecked his leg really badly. Like he was hopping. I actually thought his leg was broken.
Oh my god.
When I was like bringing him back to the box, he was literally like he couldn't put any weight on it. He was like floating. It was so bad to watch. Like it actually nearly made me cry.
Peter up.
Yeah, it nearly made me cry just watching him because he was in so much pain. And
It's like she feels so helpless. Don't
yeah, and I felt like he should be crying himself. Like he's like,
Yeah.
oh, mommy, my leg. But then, and then traveling as well.
It's scary. I was just gonna say that. It's scary to travel a horse when it's so sore.
Yeah, I think I went in the box with him. Not that that would help. I'm just standing there staring at him. Probably just he's like, why are you here?
It's like a peace of mind.
Yeah.
So if you were in the car, you'd be like, oh my god, oh my god.
Well,
oh
if
my
he's
god,
falling
oh my god.
over, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
As if you wouldn't hear that large animal doof. But yeah, so he needed rehabs back into work, and I took it slower than I was supposed to because the advice that we were given was incorrect. We were told to turn him out, and that would be his rehab. And
So like Alex was saying at the start, like kind of just put him out into the field and let time do its job.
yeah, that's why I got a bit. Is that rehab? Because we were told to do that by the vet, and it made him worse. So he was lame for 2 weeks, and then he was getting a wee boot every day. Just and then we brought him in, box rested him. And then, because that dodgy start, I took it, so I was told to do walk for a week, so I did it for 2. Like, I did everything so slow, and then I brought him back in, and then I got his first canter, and then that was it. Then I stopped loaning him then.
Oh.
No, that was like the end of it.
Oh.
Because when he was coming back in, he was just so weak. It was harder for him to build up the muscle again, being so old, I think.
So he was retired then?
Yeah, I felt like that was me doing my bit for him. He did so much for me, and I just brought him back to make him where he's supposed to be.
Like
and then,
sound to retire. Yeah, that's nice.
He's just a happy hacker now still. He still hacks away. So.
Does he?
Yeah.
See, going on that point there of the field rest, I do think I would classify it as rehab, but in like its own subsection of rehab.
Right.
Like more so like if you're, like you were saying, if you're exhausted some options, like I do think it is potentially a chance to go down. Like if a horse does need a few months of rest and it's civil enough to be field rested,
Yeah. But I agree
then
with
you need to
that.
rehab out of that after, because then you need to do everything like slower again
Yeah.
to come bring them back into work.
But I do agree with that part. Sometimes just putting them out and then seeing where they're at. Like I know that's worked for a lot of people.
It's also good for their brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I said this before in another episode. People were like, well, turn them out and let them think about it. They're not thinking.
They're munching.
They're just all day.
Grass.
they are not being like, what could I ponder?
How can I cure my leg?
Yeah.
They're not thinking about anything.
No, they're just munching, aren't they? They're munching and surviving. That's it. But something that I do find really interesting about rehab is that we do now have those rehab centres.
I was about to say about that as well.
Yeah.
I think I see watching people go. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to win. It was like a ballot over COVID or something. I won a free water treadmill session with Pepsi.
Oh, I wanted to talk about those. I think they're class.
Yeah, I won one with her, and I have to say, it was so interesting. I do think I saw some videos of it, so if I can come across them, like I'm sure we can post them on the socials. But it was such a cool experience. My only thing is with it with being like an amateur, it's so expensive.
Beach is free.
Yeah, it's so
Just
like
let them out swim.
yeah, like it's
we were talking
really
about this last night.
yeah, it's really really pricey. So it's like I would love to do it, like obviously for the fitness side of it, because you don't have to just do it when your horse is sore or like coming back from an injury. Like it's good to strengthen them,
Yeah.
but it is just the cost aspect of it. But I like that we now have locations here that are doing it, and then one of the locations does other therapies too,
Yeah.
which I like. I know they do like I keep thinking it's like a sauna. You're in the Galgorm, you know, like the salt room.
Salt
Yeah.
room, yeah.
Yeah, that can help the breathing and stuff. And I know there is a mobile one of those too, but I don't
Ooh.
really think that's rehab. Like, because I feel like salt's more like
Wouldn't they
breathing?
just lick the walls?
I don't know, girl. I've never done it.
Elsie would definitely lick the wall.
Pepsi was licking a horse tonight when I went up to the yard. She must have been rehabbing herself.
I licked the wall in Poland in the salt.
Me too.
place.
I did it at the Galgorm as well. It's like Charlie the
Insert
Chocolate
those pics.
Factory. Just licking the wall. Well, I know that, and then you have the vibrating plate too.
I think that's cool.
I don't really know much about it, but it is interesting. Like they stand on.
I just
do you remember when that was
enjoy
like a
watching
big
them.
thing back in the day to lose weight?
Yes, my sister had one. They used to come from
Should I
church,
got
like,
Pepsi? Put her on the thing to lose weight. Turn it
But
up.
how does that even work? It doesn't, surely it doesn't make you lose weight.
I think you're jiggling.
Oh,
You're talking.
jiggling the fat off. Isn't
Yeah.
it supposed to be though? It's like for blood flow, really, isn't it?
I think that's what it's for, because that's what they do it for the horses.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of them really, really expensive rugs as well.
Yes, beamer rugs.
Someone at my old yard had one, and she was on holiday, and
What do they do?
I don't actually know, but the yard owner was like really, really carefully putting it back into the bag, and she was like,
Cannot rip. I want to know what they do, because I know you can get loads of those massage rugs, and I just want to know, do they actually work? Because I was talking to my chiropractor about it, and she said they don't work.
Oh, tea.
Yeah.
I've seen people use like the wee like massage pads before they ride.
Yes, I have one of the massage guns. And yeah, and then I was looking into maybe getting one of the pads, but I was told that they don't really work into look into red light therapy. But then I feel like it's what I'm talking about. Are they all gimmicks? Like they're all tools to use for rehab, but do they work? Because I know a lot of the studies you look at, they tend to come by someone that's selling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, how is that?
You read this big
we
documentary.
need to become scientists.
Read a documentary. That didn't even make sense what I said.
No, I knew what you mean. Like,
You read a big thing and then at the end it's like sponsored by. And it's
Yeah.
like the whole whoever they were talking about.
and then what do you feel like supplements to rehab? Do you think they can help?
I was thinking about supplements pre-hab. We'll get on that in a minute, I suppose.
Okay, so you're thinking prevention more so than cure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was actually thinking about that today as I was writing. I was just thinking.
No, because I was thinking about it yesterday too.
Weird.
So I was thinking about this. I was like, oh, let me get some ideas in my head, and I was like, she's 12 now. Should I put her on a joint supplement?
That's what I was thinking about! Literally what I was thinking about, but it was more so like, you know, me and her are both fat and she's small, so I should probably
Yeah.
help her joints.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, she jumps quite big. She's a little tubby. Maybe I should put her on a joint supplement.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how am I gonna? Which one? Like, and then it was
yeah, and then
spiraling
it was
into
like
that.
the money. Yeah, I was doing
Yeah,
that.
and you go
all-
down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
all while I was trying to ride.
So I think that falls under like the topic that I was talking about, like therapies, because I know you can get like the shock therapy and stuff. My God, like a
Oh God, like the 1950s,
Oh
if you're
my-
crazy.
yeah. Can you imagine? You go get them. What are those called? You put a ice pick up people's noses. Doink doink
A
doink.
lobotomy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would love one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Would you get that for rehab?
Yeah, like just for me, like just
Just for funsies.
yeah, just to shut my brain off and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
not talking about electroshock therapy, or is it electroshock therapy?
No, what you're talking about is lobotomy.
Sorry, I'm just
No,
being
I'm
silly.
talking about electric.
You're
I'm-
talking about it's a lobotomy.
No, I'm talking about therapy for horses.
You lobotomize Pepsi?
But I've seen people that that electric shock stuff's worked for.
Yes, and you do that on like their legs, don't you?
Well, I've seen someone doing it in their horse's neck.
Someone explain this to me, what it actually is. Me and the listeners. I'm sure there's someone out there. What do you actually do? What is it? You just zap.
Do it. I don't want to get this wrong, so do an
Okay,
intro.
pause.
Do an interlude.
I always sing that song every time. There was a little Spanish flea.
I don't know if I can find this girl.
He thought he would be. He heard like bands like the Beatles and seen the Chipmunks on TV. He was a little Spanish flea.
Okay, so equine shock therapy is most commonly used to treat ligament and tendon injuries, but it is versatile and can be used to treat back, neck pain, amongst other things.
Let me see a pic.
Yeah, soft tissue and bone injuries. There's
Okay.
literally just like bzz, bzz.
Oh, this is the one I
Right.
seen.
Buzz, buzz, like that.
He's got it in his head.
Oh God.
He's nice and chilled.
Interesting.
So they are, for context, this is a TikToker who got shock therapy on their horse's head. And it's stopped his head shaking then.
Yeah.
That's very
But is
interesting.
that rehab?
No, that's
that's
more like a
treatment.
treatment.
That's
yeah.
a treatment, yeah.
Yeah, so with shock therapy, so rehab, define rehab. How would you done this at the very start? What would,
Hi, welcome to the Sassy Mouse podcast.
what
Rehab
would you
is,
define rehab as?
I would just say rehabilitation. It's just
Right,
the long version
girl.
of the word. Rehab is trying to get back to the state that you were once in. That's what I would say it is.
Yeah,
Or
so-
the best that you
yeah,
can get to.
medicine focused on restoring health, function, or soundness to horse after injury, illness, or periods of inactivity.
Mhm.
Interesting. So I wouldn't have thought rehab was for. I guess it is though. Like when you give your horse a couple of months off or a couple of weeks off, you bring them back into work. It's the same sort of thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
'cause
Yeah,
you do it
don't
all
just hop on.
Yeah, you do it all slowly, and you will go for a hack or
That's what
something
I. That's what
like
I do.
that,
Like I
you
do
know?
6 weeks, bring her back into work. 6 weeks off, 6 weeks to come back.
Oh God, that's definitely rehab. That's like
No,
an
I don't-
eternity.
I'm a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of groundwork, a lot of long lining and stuff. So I guess that is rehab.
Oh, why are you just randomly outing yourself as a pro like mid-episode?
I just didn't want to come off like big balls. So.
Big balls.
But I think that's probably the most I know about rehab. What about you? No, because I'm intrigued about prehab.
You're just wanting to get off this and talk about prehab. Yeah, okay, let's just hit the prehab. What? The importance of prehab, I don't think is talked about enough, to be honest.
So to prevent rehab, is that
To-
what you're saying?
I know it's just to prevent future injuries and
Okay.
future problems. Like, so us putting the mirrors on a joint supplement now is prehab because they
Yeah.
don't actively have joint problems.
And then would you say like stretching after work and stuff to prevent stiffness?
I would say so. Like all the wee things, they probably do a lot of it, and we don't
Yeah.
really know that
So-
it is prehab.
I think then mine would be like stretching. Definitely would stretch. If I do hard work, I would do a lot of walking afterwards. Then I would be quite picky on the ground I ride on too.
Really?
Like I wouldn't ride. Like I'm happy enough to hack her and stuff on hard ground. But like that's concrete. Like that's kind of a given. It's not gonna be soft. But like I wouldn't. I'd be careful with riding in schools that were too hard or too soft or too deep. I would pick my venues as well. Be quite careful on where I would compete, depending on the ground too. So I guess maybe that falls into.
You're
prehab.
super prehab.
You're
You're very picky
Yeah,
in life.
I am picky.
But I think a lot of prehab falls into actually preparing your horse for what you plan to do. Like you wouldn't take Elsie around like an 80 centimetre course right now.
See, I
I
think that's-
could.
Maybe
I
you
think
would.
that's us though. But I
You
think
would.
there's a lot of people that would just jump their horses, like when they're.
I
But
would
I think
say-
that's asking for something to happen.
See, I would
Yeah.
have been guilty of that with Rue. Like I wouldn't have. He would have had like a month off, and then I'd go to a competition, do like 70 really.
Yeah.
But then I didn't really know any better back then, and
Yeah.
and he was just, one of them ones that they say you just hop on and get
Yeah,
on with it. But
he was a
now
good
that
one.
I know more, I probably would have prepared him better.
Yeah.
Like I just thought, oh, he'll go clear because he always does. I didn't think of the effects that might have had.
On his body.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, did I break him? He's
So, like,
working so.
Would like good feed, would it be prehab?
Probably.
Yeah, because it would would that be preventing other things?
Yeah,
If you're getting all the vits and mins in there.
because that could
Yeah.
even be like good feed is like keeping their gut healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
Would be pre-habbing for their insides, I guess.
Like it's just so interesting. I feel like there's so much on it. Like, I feel like we need educated on.
Segue.
I think so.
Okay. So our, what do you call it? Our expert for the experts arena.
Trotting over.
Oh, we're trotting over to the experts arena.
Yeah.
We're pre-habbing over to the experts arena, where we have what Bally did next,
Yeah.
and she is going to share her story.
Hi, my name is Faith, and I have a rising 6-year-old or Irish sports horse called Bally. Bally was very lightly backed when I bought him back in 2023. And when we started working together, I quite quickly realised that something wasn't right, mainly with the way that his back end was moving. We persevered for a bit just because he was so young and we weren't sure if it was a weakness thing, but it soon turned out to be something a little bit more serious. So after initial investigations, we realised that actually he had something called OCD. which was bone chips, which can be found in several places, but with Bally they were in both his hocks. We discovered that the bone chip, especially in the right hand side, was over a centimetre, or nearly a centimetre I should say, and the left one wasn't quite so bad, but still both needed to be removed. We removed these and then started rehab, including medicating both the hocks with steroid injections, but over the period of rehab, we realised that he still wasn't very happy. And after more investigations, we decided that the likely culprit was damage to the SI based on the way that he'd had to compensate for the pain in his hocks. Rehabbing a young horse, like I had to, I mean, for a start, he was the first young horse that I've ever brought on. So as well as having to deal with the issues with injury and not knowing what was going on for a long time, I also had to deal with the fact that a lot of the time we didn't know whether it was because he was young or because he was, not right, which was really difficult because there's a lot of opinions out there about young horses and how they should behave and what they should be doing and how fast they should be progressing. So that was really hard because you see a lot of horses out there who are young doing a lot of things, and I never wanted that life for Bally. I always wanted to bring him on slowly, but I soon realized that with the additional issues that we were having, we would have to progress even slower than I expected, and that for me was mentally really difficult because I didn't know, not only was I jumping in at the deep end with a young horse and bringing one on for the first time, but I also had to deal with an issue rehabbing, which I'd never had to deal with either. So there was just so much unknown, and I really felt like I had to do loads of research, loads of talking to experts to try and understand how to tackle this. But it is exhausting, and also just the relentlessness of like feeling like you may never get this right, you may never fix him. He has so much potential, he's an amazing horse. To feel like we may never get there as well was at times really, really scary. So there's a lot to deal with there, and yeah, it definitely takes a village, and having the support of the people around you. Without that, I really don't think I would have had the same experience that I did have with rehabbing him. I think with regards to rehabbing in general, I think that most of the time everyone is very, very supportive, but there are a few times where people will try and give you suggestions of how to move forward and what you can do and how you can do things differently. Some people say to use different aids or different things to try and speed up the process, or have you tried this treatment, or have you tried this supplement? And I found the mental load of that really, really difficult to deal with, because as an owner you always want to feel like you're doing the absolute most for your horse to get it right and to help it, and especially a young horse, because you want to give them the best possible foundations to move on from. And I think that was really hard, because you just felt like, what if you didn't try everything, you weren't trying hard enough. But yeah, you soon sort of learn to filter that, but it's hard. It definitely is one of the hardest aspects of it, because you don't want to leave any stone unturned at all. So yeah, there definitely is that to be said for it. And also people saying, push on, just keep, just go for it. And at times that's all you want to do, and then you get setbacks and you think, well, I can't do that. So it definitely is all a balancing act, but you just have to take it all with a pinch of salt and do what you feel in your gut is the best thing to do. You can feel really pressured to skip steps because you just want to feel like you are making progress. I think one of the most difficult things I've talked about is how long rehab is. Like, I was told by my vet originally that once we had got the chips out and done the medicating of the joints, that we would literally be 4 to 6 weeks in rehab and then we'd be back to normal. Well, that's absolutely not been the case. We did we took the bone chips out in June 2024, and we are still quote unquote rehabbing now. So it's definitely been a longer road. So you do feel like, I wish I could just press fast forward. I wish I could do other things and make things easier for myself. But unfortunately with horses, I don't really feel like, as much as you can feel pressured and feel like you wish you could fast forward, it just isn't the way that horses work. I think with regards to if I had to do it all again, would I do anything differently? I don't think I would, but I think I would set myself with much more realistic expectations. I think if I could go back and talk to myself before we started it all, I would, say to myself, like, that 4 to 6 week turnaround is not going to be the case. You need to realize this is going to be for the long run. And I think, because of a lot of factors that didn't work in our favour, like Bally hadn't done much before we had this issue, so he's now not only learning to move properly, but he's learning to do things under saddle for the first time, which is really difficult. So a lot of the things that we're doing with him, he's got to deal with the fact that he's 5 years old. He's not really done much of it before anyway, and when he did do it originally, he may have been in pain, or he didn't want to do it because it was hard or difficult. So there's a lot there. So I think if I was going to do things differently, all I would do is try and have a better understanding of how long it was going to take, and just be really honest with myself about what that was going to be like, and just know that it's going to take a lot more time, and just don't have any expectations on what that's going to look like in a year's time. And I think that's the same for anybody going through the same process. I think when I've spoken to different people about the rehab process, I've just said, just expect it to take longer, and enjoy it. Like, enjoy the little moments where you see a tiny, you see an improvement, or you spend some time with them just on the ground and in the school, or just on, just walking around, and just find the fun in the bits that you can, because there's going to be so many dark days that if you can have a laugh and have a smile, like when it was Bally's birthday, 5th birthday, he was on box rest, so we bought balloons and stuff and had like a little photo session with him in the stable, and just made it a bit fun, because there wasn't really that much like happy stuff going on. But I remember there's being lots of times when I actually had really lovely days with him on box rest. I made him like ice lollies and little skewers to hang down from the stable, like little toys to play with. Like, there are ways to make it enjoyable, so you just have to find that. You have to find the fun in it, because if you don't do that, then you are really going to struggle. I feel really strongly about prehab now, more so than ever before, for the fact that if I hadn't done, like when I first got Bally, because I knew I wanted to do things slowly anyway, and because of the way that he was weak behind anyway, we did a lot of long lining, we did a lot of groundwork, we did a lot of poles. I would walk him out hacking, I would long line him hacking for miles, and that did us so well. That served us so well when it came to actually rehabbing him, because he already knew what to expect. He had been through this all before. He was like, oh yeah, it's this again. Oh, it's long lining again. Oh, it's walking over poles. Oh, it's groundwork. The more you can do with your horses at any stage of their education. I will always have a long lining session in my week. I will always do poles ridden or in hand. There's so many benefits to it for every horse in every walk of life. And I think if you can set them up for success at that stage, then ridden work is just going to come to you so much easier. So yeah, I would say, regardless of what your horse is doing, even if they're just retired out in a field, if you can get a few logs on the ground and just walk them over it, just to keep their core strength up, just to keep them moving, I think that is so incredibly beneficial. So yeah, I will shout it from the rooftops about doing as much as you can. Riding is great, riding's all well and good, but I think that we do that more often than not to fix problems that we could fix from the ground. So I'm by all means not the best at it. I still think there's times when I would rather ride than do the other bits, but I think that you can't do one without the other. I think that they have to work in partnership together. And I would say that actually one of the most important things that I've recently introduced to Bally's schedule is water treadmill. And I know that's really difficult for people to sometimes find one in their area or find one that works for them. But if you do have one around you that is in your area, I would strongly recommend that, again, pretty much regardless of what your horse is doing, but especially if they're in rehab or if they're a competition horse, water treadmill is like so incredibly beneficial for those horses. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you can find one in your area.
So thank you to Faith from What Bally Did Next. That was an interesting voice note about rehab, and a point that I want to talk about was how long it takes. Like we said about that, how I did everything longer with Rue.
Yeah.
I think that is something that people really need to consider. There is no shortcuts.
Yeah, I think because when
Yeah.
your vet is telling you, like she said, 4 to 6 weeks, like your vet is the person obviously you go to for the injury, so you're also going to go to them for the advice on how to rehab. And when they're giving you a time frame, do you think they should maybe be a bit more realistic?
I
almost?
think
Maybe give you longer so that you don't push your horse.
controversial opinion possibly that vets act like gods sometimes, and they just be like, that's it, that's what's going to happen, and that's just how it's going to
So
be.
you think they'd be more flexible almost?
I think so, and I also think that the owner needs to be more, take on a few opinions, like listen to your chiropractor, listen to your physio, listen to, if you've got a really educated yard owner, friends, like
Listen to your horse.
and your horse.
And your horse.
How can I forget your horse?
Yeah. Did I say horse?
No, I just got excited. I lose my R's when I get excited, okay, Aubin? Oh god, now who's the god now? I'm just getting big ego inflation here. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, listen to multiple opinions. Because if she had have done that in 4 to 6 weeks, she would be facing other problems down the line. She's doing it right by taking it slow. And she will see the benefits of that in the long run, definitely. I would say.
Like she was saying, like one area usually then ends up compensating in another
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So you need to be aware of that. Like you're almost then going to rehab multiple problems in one. So maybe giving them a bit longer is probably a smart idea to do. And like I was saying, listen to your horse. Like if your horse is struggling, slow down. Like slow down 2 or 3 weeks and just start again. Like it's they'll thank you for it, and you'll thank yourself for it in the long run.
Yeah.
It can feel very like the world's against you sort of thing. If you get a big injury like that, it's like world crashing type stuff. I have a lot of first-hand experience as a therapist for the ex Sassy Mare Ellie when she was going through all this, and it's so like, oh my god, and then the next thing happens and the next thing happens.
Yeah.
So it does, especially when you're thinking like, oh my god, like I have to do another 2 months, like could I just do it in a month? Like you're definitely, if you want to keep this horse long term and stuff, and you want to do the best by the animal, definitely take
And
the long,
Yeah.
the
as
long
much as you
option.
can, try and like block out the external voices as well. Like
Yeah.
people probably have your best interests at heart, but you need to have your horse's best interests at heart, not the plans that you had set and the goals you had set for your horse. You need to just do right by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything, Alex?
I liked what you said about keeping it varied, because I knew when I was in a position that I was like in walk for nearly 2 months, like we started the whole long rein and stuff, and then it was like hand walking and long rein over poles on the ground, and then it was like, oh my god, we'll just go for a walk on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Or we went to cross country courses to
Yeah.
hack.
Yeah.
It was so fun. I mean, it's so much more like enjoyable just to be able to like have a little dander around, you know, go down the water, go up some hills.
Yeah, it probably didn't seem as like long and boring to your animal either. They probably felt
Yeah,
more joy in it.
Because if they're going down the road every day, they might, well, I don't know if they get bored.
And one thing that was there that our audio listeners wouldn't have heard though, but if you were watching this on YouTube, you would have seen that she had a lot of like stable toys, which I guess is interesting as well, you know, to keep your rehab, because obviously they are on the box rest, like things to keep your horse's mental health but
I had brought that up
cheerier.
in the game that I didn't do, so yeah,
Oh.
let's talk about it. Because I was like, what is this coming up? No, it's not.
I think
Yeah,
you do have to
boredom
be-
busters
yeah,
and
you
stuff.
be careful though, because a lot of the times horses are going to be on rest or, you know, out of work, the weight aspect, and a lot of those boredom busters are very high sugar.
Yeah.
So that'd be one
Fruit-based.
you
And
need to just.
yeah.
Whereas what was interesting there is Faith had one of the like the grass blocks that you would hang.
Yeah.
She had it in a little tiny net, so then it just adds a little extra onto it. Because I know Pepsi can finish those in literally 20 seconds. Like she'll just bite it and it'll just break.
Do you remember Elsie had it and the cardboard on the inside?
Yeah,
Loki.
literally.
Did he eat the
Loki,
cardboard?
Loki ate the rubber and everything.
Yeah.
Like, see if you'd have heard him with his treat ball, it was a football, like it's got
Yeah.
dents in it now.
So definitely be careful with things like that. Like yes, boredom busters are fun, but you know, if you do have a horse that eats things very
It
quickly,
eats the cardboard and the rubber.
just be careful. Yeah, like maybe put a little tiny net around them so they can't eat that.
Yeah,
and
that is a
make-
good idea.
Make sure it can't actually sit against a wall. Because a lot
I
of the
like
times,
the carrot ones.
yes,
That you
carrots.
just you tie all the
Yeah,
carrots
I
onto
did.
it and then hang it in the middle of your stable.
I
They
would do
can't
those too.
pin it against anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It moves every time they touch it. Love those. Fabulous idea.
Just boredom busters. I think they're good to have, but you need to be careful with them.
We had a horse in the yard who used to listen to the radio when he was on box rest.
Yeah, I've seen people do that too. I like putting the radio on just when I'm bathing as well.
Mm.
Soothe her, put on like nice spa tunes. It's just Radio 1.
Radio 1 can be so unsoothing sometimes.
I know it's usually
like
Friday
chalk.
when we're getting ready to go jumping as well, so it's like rave tunes. It's like Friday night getting ready to go out tunes. You're just listening to like absolute party anthems.
That is her equivalent of getting ready for a night out, like, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So that's, you know, when you were 19, you were getting ready to go clubbing. Now you're getting ready to go jump in the show ring. Oh, my life changed.
You were still jumping.
I was just hungover all the time. And I'm like, oh my god, it's 8:30. I need to go to bed. I have to get a jump in the morning.
Like, I can't drink tonight. I'm jumping in 3 weeks. I'll be hungover. Okay, so I have myth busting, true or false.
Okay.
So there's actually, this was all me. I didn't even get Chad to help me on this one, guys.
Oh,
so
good.
he was so stupid today.
Oh no.
So we're fell out. Anyways, he does cute things sometimes, but he's just like every man.
I was gonna say that, man.
Yeah. To do one cute thing once a month.
Your job is swinging. You said that.
I was trying to hold in my laugh. Oh, right, okay.
Pony game.
Pony game, yeah. Myth busting, true or false? If a horse isn't hopping, it's healed.
Does it mean
False.
hop and lame? Yeah, false.
False.
Is there an explanation? Or
Yeah, but there's only my explanation, like, what do I know? After a horse stops hopping, it will still need rehab steps to take place to ensure they're fully healed before doing more heavy work.
it also
Yeah.
just mightn't be any better, especially if you're given a butte.
That's true, you do need to consider that, actually. That's such a thing. If you have the horse on butte for a wee while, you're like, oh, it's sound, but is it though?
No, probably not.
Isn't it 24 to 48 hours or something it
48
takes?
hours.
48
Yeah.
hours before it's out of its system.
Any painkillers like that?
Me too.
Well, eat a butte. What would happen?
I tasted butte before.
Oh,
It wasn't good.
didn't you lick it?
Yeah, you were there. I was like, let me just try this and have molasses on it too.
But I think you were trying to try the molasses.
Yeah, I tried the butte by accident.
Yeah.
Pony game. Pony game.
Well, my hair is making me so itchy. I got fleas.
The fleas and where were they? Paras? You just saying that earlier? Or the Spanish fleas?
Fleas in Paris.
Yeah.
Okay, horses need box rest to heal.
False.
False. Control turnout is sometimes a better option depending on injury
And the horse?
and horse. Even
Horse.
horse. This leads me on to the next one. What a little segue there. Even with the same injury, two horses may need two different rehab plans.
True.
True, it depends on the horse's situation and personality and the type of work they do.
And age.
And age. I wrote personality because you know the way like some will be fine on box rest because they're chill
Yeah.
guys and some are nutty in general.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking.
I'm glad you got it because it's like doo doo. Like it's a big break before my next doo doo. Okay. Cold hosing is only good for immediate injury.
False?
False.
I didn't even get the answer.
I just assumed you agreed.
I was
'cause you
still
didn't say it
processing the
otherwise.
question.
We answer four together, you know. Our answers are one.
Cold hosing is often recommended to help aid recovery even after initial injury.
I love a wee bit of cold hosing.
Me too. It gets boring after a while though.
Oh, it does.
I went to Cold Toes Pepsi's third boob before.
Her third boob.
Yeah, she got a kick in the chest and got like a third ditty.
Oh,
to Cold
no.
Toes and go away. Like really saggy.
Oh no, ew.
She was like double D'd up and he'd like put a wee bra on her.
I remember that.
It was just swinging in the wind.
I've been bit in the head so many times cold hosing. Like cold hosing legs.
Oh.
That's happened multiple times. It was always Rue. Elsie would never. She has nuzzles. Anyways, rehab ending doesn't mean everything is back to normal.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one that people don't really realise because like, oh, rehab's over.
Crack on, yeah.
I got this. I got to my final step. It's the 6-week mark. Blah blah blah. I can go do whatever I
Yeah, it's
want.
like we said earlier, listen to your horse. So like if they're not ready, there's no harm in doing an extra couple of weeks.
Yeah, what did I write? I said after an injury, depending on how severe it was, You need to ease the horse back into work, keep a close eye, and make sure things are still running how they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me using my words. Okay. You can't exercise. I said, look at me using my words, and the next line makes no sense.
You're using your words now, but in the bath, no.
You can't exercise during rehab.
False.
But I wrote you can't exercise during injury, which is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, false. Sometimes light work is recommended depending on the injury.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go against your vet's advice.
True.
True. You said that someone sank. That was so cute.
Thank you.
We're very passionate about that one.
I have very circumstantial, and this wouldn't apply to younger, inexperienced owners, but sometimes vets get it wrong, and that's why it's always important to have multiple eyes and trust your gut.
Second opinion.
Second
Third
opinion. Third
fourth
opinion. Fourth, all the opinions.
Yeah.
ChatGPT's opinion.
Honestly, I've never thought of that.
Ask the Facebook groups.
Oh God, no. That's too many opinions.
Don't
Yeah,
trust
yeah.
social media advice.
I wonder, could you actually ask chat genuinely? Like, I'm not even being funny. Could you literally say, this is what's happened to my horse, X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, but you
What's the
definitely
rehab
also
plan?
need a vet.
But you just said go against your vet.
No, but
Yeah,
you,
but you
you
need
still
a
need a
vet.
vet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Don't just use. Disclaimer, do not use AI to diagnose your horse and how to treat an injury. Please go to a professional that has trained for that. I mean, yes, they also can be wrong, but I'd rather actually use someone that knew your horse than AI.
but if I told AI, this is Elsie.
Amy, look, you can do that. Just do not promote it to
The
other
vet-
people.
the
You're
vet-
going to get sued.
The vet is going to be
By
able
who,
to tell
Chat?
you what's wrong and what to
Yeah.
do.
You could ask Chat maybe to help with ideas on how to do that.
That's actually a good idea. Chat would be good for helping with the varied, fun, rehabby stuff.
Other AI is also available.
Is there though?
Yeah.
I'm not ill.
Let's just chat.
To my man.
Well.
He's actually the fourth Sassy Mare.
Yeah.
He does help with a lot of the naming the episodes and the games.
What a lad.
So shout out to my man's
Mr. Chat.
Mr. GPT.
GBT. But anyway, shall we put it out to our listeners?
Yeah. Hit it.
What, hitting it?
Yeah.
So for our listeners to take the reins, we're going to have a post up on our social medias, probably our Instagram, and we would like to hear your rehab stories, good or bad. Do you agree or disagree with things that we said? Probably some along the lines of vets potentially, and like length of rehab and for the injury. I think it'd be interesting to see, and then we can if anyone's currently going through rehab as well, it'd be nice to offer advice to them and get like a nice little positive community going for everybody.
Yeah, definitely helping each other out in the comments. I'll put it on TikTok and Instagram if I remember. Guys, I always forget to put the games up. Thanks for long-lining this episode. I've been Amy. You can find me on @AmyCoopa on TikTok.
I've been Robin, and you can find me at Robin Hartley on TikTok and RH on Instagram.
I have been Alex, and you can find me at ab.eq on TikTok and Instagram.
And you can find the podcast on @TheSassyMoors Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and Sassy Moors Podcast on YouTube and Spotify.
But you already know that.
Because you're already there.
Trot on. Subscribe and like and comment and follow.